It's your boy, JSAP Madstack, Mr. Fan of my fans. Illis, do you have what it takes to host your own radio talk show? Well, if the answer is yes, then you're the one we're looking for. Hold up, say what? RWR Live 365 is looking for new talent to join our radio family and network. We'll put you in the captain's chair and give you all the tools necessary to become the next hot radio sensation. Sound good? So do. How we get down, man? Here's all you got to do. Visit our website at rwrlive365.com/affiliate program and follow the simple instructions, or give us a call at 850-466-8436. Once again, that number is 850-466-8436. Be sure to tell them Illis sent you, and I'll see you on the other side of stardom, baby. See you. Yeah, we'll be right back.
Hey, what's up? What's up, man? We appreciate y'all for checking in to the G Spot podcast. I look kind of dark right now. I don't know if y'all can see me. Hold on, press pause. I don't know if they did. Oh, they did a little something. A little peanut butter up in this motherfucker. We appreciate y'all for checking into the G Spot podcast today, man. We got a new and a special guest in the building. Actually, the first actress I've actually had in the building tonight. First and foremost, we want to introduce Jasmine the Great.
Hey, what's up, y'all? You already know who it is, but for those who don't, it's your girl, Jasmine the Great, baby. You already know who it is.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming. Now, me and Jazz, we went to elementary school together and we went to high school together. So we've known each other for a minute. So it's really good to see each other at this.
I know.
At this point, it's been a long time, man. I was out of high school for a little over 10 years now.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I never thought, man, growing up, you know, when you in school, we used to look at people that was like 30 and stuff like, damn, they old.
Right?
Yeah, you know. And then we get to this part in our life and it's like, well, damn, it really ain't that bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, when you get to 30, I don't know. When I got to 30, I had this, I don't know. I just looked at the world totally different. And I feel like you really start to enjoy yourself when you get to 30 on a mature level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I appreciate being 30 for real. It brought some gray hair, but I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Oh, yeah, tonight we definitely going to touch on a few things. First and foremost, praise God from whom all blessings flow. Shout out to everybody that's checking in with us from everywhere tonight. And if y'all haven't already, make sure y'all like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, the G Spot Podcast. And if you can't watch us, man, make sure y'all download the RWR Live 365 app where you can listen to music all day long, and then you can hear this show each and every Thursday night. We're gonna start off with a question for our guests. We're gonna break the ice a little bit, and it's a question that I saw on social media earlier today. And I want y'all to comment, like I always tell y'all, make sure y'all drop positivity in the comments. You never know who need it. But I want y'all to interact with this too, and I want y'all to tell me how y'all feel about this. So if your partner was sentenced to 27 years, are you holding them down?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Really?
I know a lot of people gonna say, she lying. She a motherfucking liar. But no, I am, for me, I'm like, once I love somebody, like I love them for a real long time. Like when they say that soul ties for real, like we be connected. Like, we locked in for life. So I have a different type of love. So if I say I love you and I'm down for you, that's what it is. So, you know, if we had this agreement and we talked about it, now if you say, hey, go ahead, live your life, you know what I'm saying? Then we come to that agreement mutually. Yeah. But if I feel like you say, hey, you gonna hold me down, and I say, yeah, I'm gonna hold you down, and that's just what it is.
So with that, and like I said, I want y'all to definitely come drop some. She said it depends on what happened. So do you think that you could be abstinent for 27 years?
Yeah. To me, sex is not a big thing.
Okay. You know what though?
It's the connection for me. Sex ain't all that for me.
Yeah. I think, and this might not be, I'm not going to say this for everybody, but I know for the people that I usually hang around, when you get a certain age, sex definitely becomes like a mental connection over anything else.
Agree.
So I agree with you 100% on that. said no. Hey, what's up, Denise on YouTube? I know, and some people probably just feel like, no, I ain't gonna do it. 27 years is a long time to put.
It is a long time.
Yeah. Me personally, it's a no. I feel like this. It's too many people in the world for me to put my life on hold. And I'm not saying like, I wouldn't be your friend. I could be your friend, but I still have to keep on moving. You know what I'm saying? And like the sister said, it definitely depends on it depends on the situation. I feel like this. If I do agree to it, it has to be open. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because 27 years is a long ass time.
Look, it is a long time. And I can also say as well, like if you have the mutual agreement, they say, okay, hey, go live your life. That don't mean I ain't finna go out there and pop that coochie, to everybody that, hey, I'm single now, I'm back out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be nothing like that. Cause I feel like, again, once my heart is connected to somebody, I don't want to try and reconnect again with somebody. Starting over is like, when you get in them 30s, you're like, damn, we gotta start all over. We gotta go through this all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for that.
No, I get you 100% on that. Denise said, hell no, not 27 years. You got some people who down for that, you know? Because if you found your person and something happens, then that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I agree.
It's definitely based on your person.
Yeah, and we know how these prisons work now. There's ways to do certain things. So we ain't gonna get into that. That'll be another topic. Yeah, but I definitely, like Monique said, I definitely try to be there for them mentally. I would too. Yeah, I definitely, because look, I've been locked up a couple times before, so I know how it feels. It is one thing to go to jail for a few months, but then to go to prison for 27 years, and because a lot of people who do go through that, especially for so long, when they come back home, they kind of still stuck in the era they went in. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely is mentally draining. I know if it was for me, what I went through, I'm pretty sure it is for people that hasn't encountered something for so long. Definitely. So, man, first and foremost, once again, thank you for coming tonight.
Absolutely.
Man,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I know you say, yeah, they get boyfriends. Like I said before, man, me and Jasmine, we classmates, man. So it's always exciting for me to see people really doing things differently than what we typically used to. Because one thing about Pensacola, it's a very kind of closed-minded city.
Yeah.
And not everybody, but a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? So it's really cool to see different people who step outside the box. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So which is kind of what motivated me to do my podcast. So first, let's touch on your music. Okay, so you got your latest hit out. Y'all see that? And first of all, tell them where they can find your music at.
Yes, you can find my music on all of your favorite streaming platforms. It's on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you stream music, you can find my music there.
Yes. So what motivated you into getting into music?
So music was always in me, but it was more so on the singing side. That's how I started. I started out singing in the 3rd grade, did my very first talent show there. And then as I got older, my partner was like, you got a unique voice. You should see how you sound rapping. So I was just like, okay. I ain't know where to start, what the hell I was talking about, you know what I'm saying? But I had so many stories. Like I could, I've been through so much to where I could create a story and put it into words. And it was based on my delivery, which made it so unique. So I just started writing and, made them stories. And when I delivered it, it was just, me. I just put me into it. And I was like, I can fuck with this.
Yeah.
With this. Yeah. So then I just combine them together because one, you have a lot of females who just stick to either rapping or sticking to singing. You don't have a lot of people who does them both. And I figured, God gave me the talent to do both. Why not do both?
True.
So I mix them in every now and again, or do one solo singing, one just straight rapping, or combine them together.
Yeah. I know. I remember when we were younger, y'all used to have a little twerk team.
Shout out to iJig. That was our name back then.
iJig, I remember, man. The little Turk. I was on YouTube trying to find videos of y'all. I couldn't find no videos of y'all because I definitely was gonna bring that up. I know it was you, Victoria, and it was two more of y'all, right?
Yeah, we had different people that was, switching out, and I believe this was y'all, my mind, man.
Because it's been a minute now. It's been a minute.
But I believe it was Kanisha Bradley. The other people had to remind. It was like Nuki was in it, so I was like, yes, I think it was her, Victoria, and me.
Yeah, okay, and because I do remember that. Shout out to Nuki, man. And shout out to your mama.
Hey, Ma Duke's in the building.
Yeah,
love you, Ma.
So with that, do you still communicate with anybody from that dance group?
I still communicate with Victoria. We still really, really close. We became like a sisterhood. Well, you might as well say that's my crazy sister.
Yeah. No, I get how it is. So now you're a woman, you know what I'm saying? We grown now and you have a family of your own now.
Yes.
So how do you balance that with your career? Because not only do you do music, but you're an actress. So how do you balance your family life with your career?
I get that question so often. They're like, girl, how is you doing it? Where is you even fitting time to do any of this? And honestly, I can say it's nobody but God.
Yeah.
Because I ask myself the same thing. Like when I'm working and then we had this acting opportunity that came up and it was like clashing with my schedule. And I'm just like,
yeah.
One of them gotta go. Lord, which way you want to choose?
Yeah.
And it was just like out the blue. I was just like, talking to my supervisor, and he like, hey, whatever you need, we're gonna work every day in Pensacola. And one, somebody, he like, shout out to him, like he is invested into what I have going on career-wise, as far as outside of my regular 9-to-5 job. He's supportive of my music and what I want to be outside of that. So he's like, whatever we got to do, just let me know. We'll try to work it out. And it just flowed. Everything as far as the time frames that we had to do with acting, because it was some long hours, no lie. But it just all worked out. And I kind of felt that, if God wanted it to happen, he was gonna put it into position for it to happen. And that's how it went.
Man, that's very exciting. So what, especially with your new song, and let me tell you one thing about my show. We talk how we want to talk. You know what I'm saying? So I want to, what motivated this latest song?
That bitch. Listen. So this one was actually motivated by my partner. Because again, I'm always doing, music and telling stories. And he was like, you know what? You always, you telling your stories, but you never really popped your shit. He was like, I mean, it's your time. Talk your shit. So he was like, I want you to make a song popping your shit, but also making it for the ladies as well, who in the same position as I am, grinding, working hard, may have families, doing the shit that they got to do, whether it's by themselves, with their partner, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Who out there just getting it out the mud and always the laid back type. But when it's your time to motherfucking shine, pop your motherfucking shit. So this is something that they can go out there and be like, yo, I'm popping my shit. Whether they out there, you know what I'm saying, if they got 4 or 5 niggas that they getting this money from, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. It was a song for the ladies to pop their shit.
Yeah, man, it's like I said, it's really cool to see you doing your thing with music. And it's really cool that you're doing music the way you want to do music.
Exactly.
And shout out to your dude though who bought that out of you. You know what I'm saying? That's really cool to have, because a lot of people don't have supportive partners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know he do his own thing too. And so y'all both sitting on some bags. You know what I'm saying? Right now. So that's pretty cool for real, Fred. So with your music, like, where do you see yourself going? Like, how, like what is an artist that, like, your dream artist that you really want to work with?
I thought about that so often, and really, I have people in mind, but I don't really have people in mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm my own unique person and I don't really follow in the path of anyone else. Yeah, I get inspiration from them, but I don't really want to feel like I admire somebody so much that I start sounding like them or trying to sound like them, starting to dress like them. Because some people do that.
Yeah.
They idolize people so much, they don't realize they start sounding like them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't want to be that artist. And people be like, you sound like, no, you can't say that about Jasmine the Great. Jasmine don't sound like nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of people, you know, I definitely get inspiration from, like Young Thug. I love his creativity, the way he delivers. That's my biggest thing when I do my artistry is my deliveries. How are you delivering the message? Like, y'all know every day people listen to music, the song can be straight bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's how they deliver in the song.
Yeah.
Now me, I say some shit actually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't just be talking bullshit.
Yeah.
But I do that on top of my delivery. But definitely Young Thug, Lil Baby. As far as like men wise, you know, when it comes to rapping, of course, my partner Eugene, you know, I got you know, I got to throw that out there. But yeah, those type of artists, people who have different type of creativity when they deliver. When it comes to females, definitely, I love Megan Thee Stallion, and it's just because I love her aggressiveness. You know what I'm saying? She talk her shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She not afraid to talk her shit. And I have my aggressiveness and, you know, when I do my delivery as well. So I love that she's comfortable in her aggressiveness. So I definitely love her. And there are a lot of few other people too, like Amaretta the Great. She a dope ass artist too. She pop her shit. So yeah, it's a lot of people out there that I kind of look at for inspiration. And, you know, I'm just like, okay. Yeah, I kind of see how they going, and then I make my own alternative path and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
So
that's what's up. Now I remember when we were in school, you were quiet in school, which we both were pretty quiet in school. I really didn't. I don't know why this argument just popped up in my head. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't even gonna bring it up.
Let's look. Before you even say it.
No, I ain't gonna say it. Look, he said stop cussing. I ain't gonna get into the argument, but it's so crazy because me and my best friend Mercedes, which you know Mercedes, we all went to school together. We always talk about that hammerhead coming.
Yo,
man, and it's so crazy to think that was almost 15 years ago.
Oh my God.
We were sitting in that class. You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace to Miss Alexander. Man, and but I mean, I stayed in detention, messing around with Mercedes, dog. Messing around with Mercedes. So you was pretty quiet back then. So when it comes to you performing in front of people, like, how do you deal with that? Do you have anxiety when it comes to that, or you just like fuck it?
Heck yeah, no, I definitely have anxiety. Most times, I have to take a shot and or have me a couple drinks before I go out there to really, you know, get in my element, because I'm still getting used to getting back out there and, you know, performing my craft for the people. So I'm like, I want to give a good ass show. I don't want to sit there and be bland and just be, you know, standing in one spot looking like a robot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I have me a couple drinks or a shot or whatever, it helped loosen me up and really, you know, give the people, you know, what they came to see. Not saying that I can't do it without it, because I absolutely can. It's just, I know me until I can get real comfortable, do a few shows, you know, every time I do it, then I get more, because when you sing or rap, the first thing you're going to hear is in their voice. You're like, oh shit, she nervous.
Yeah.
You can hear that, that quivering getting going. You're going to be like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to come out there and they be like, oh yeah, she was ready for this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So most times I have me a couple drinks. Recently that was challenged. So at my job, they had a little festival and they did a karaoke theme. And they was like, Jasmine, you gotta sing. So, you know, they pressured the girl. So I was like, I ain't want to let the people down. So, I wanted to do it anyway. But I was like, damn, I ain't got no alcohol.
Yeah.
Shit, Lord.
Do what you do.
So, but when I got out there, I just channeled that anxiety and that energy. And I was just looking at the crowd and just saw how they were so anticipating what I was about to say or do. That gave me that momentum to be like, you know what, I'm about to give them what they looking for.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, man, if I could do this without liquor, you know what I'm saying? I could do this shit, you know what I'm saying? But every now and then I have me a little drink.
Yeah. No, I feel you 100% because when you talk about mental health in the Black community, I shared a post earlier about what it do, and it was the Michael Jordan face, and he was like, "Mama, I'm depressed," and she had to press them damn dishes, because that's where we came from.
That's true.
And we didn't understand what anxiety was, to understand the fact that we had been experiencing it for a very long time before we even became who we are now. You know what I'm saying? So even me, when I do my show, sometimes I'm still a little nervous when I come on here. When I've hosted shows, events before, I get a little nervous, and it's what used to help me was the alcohol. I will say that. But then when I backed away from the alcohol, it was just like, dang, I don't want to do that no more. And really, I was cool with that because it aligned me more so into my destiny with doing speaking engagements, more so on stuff that could help the Black community improve. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's my calling, is doing community work. So that's really cool. Honestly, this and for real, you know what I'm saying, the whole interview really, really is exciting for real. Just to see you where you at right now, man. To see like, damn, I'm with an actress and a singer, you know what I'm saying? And then to know that we've known each other for years, you know what I'm saying? So it's really cool to see you doing what you're doing and doing what you're doing with your family. And even your partner, I respect what he do, man. Make sure y'all hit him up, man, for the photography, because he's doing really good with the photography. He's been doing that for some years. Graphics too. Yeah. And that's a thing though with his whole family, man, to be that creative. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them for real.
Definitely.
So do you remember your first time performing in front of people? Like, how did that go for you?
So, I mean, like, as just in general or as an adult?
As in general.
In general.
Yeah.
I could never forget it because it was the very first time. As I mentioned, it was in the 3rd grade. I did my very first talent show. I never forget. I was going to A. Dixon. Shout out to everybody that went there. If you know, you know. So yeah, 3rd grade, did my first talent show, and I did Week by SWV. Had somebody ask me, now what you knew about that? I'm in the 3rd grade. Listen, my parents grew up on the 90s, on the 80s, you know, that type of vibe. And that's all we had in the house, that soulful music, that, you know, that shit that speak to you, you know what I'm saying? So that was what I knew. So, and, you know, when I sung it, it just, you know what I'm saying, I could feel the lyrics, what they were singing. So I just got up there and I sung my little heart out. And I just, you know, when you finally open your eyes and you look out there and you see the people like they really into it, that's what gave me like, oh, I have something special with my voice. You know what I'm saying? Seeing how the people were getting into it and seeing how they were reacting to it. Like, this little girl, you know what I'm saying, is really singing these lyrics, you know what I'm saying? And she sound good. So that's how I got into more of the singing, and then it transitioned into rapping along with it. So it was exhilarating. Just seeing that for the first time. I'm just like, you know, wow. You know, I didn't know that, you know, my voice will have this effect on people.
Yeah. So what motivates you the most to pursue your career with music?
My family. They motivate me so much. And it's the fact that I know what we've been through. I know what we're going through. You know what I'm saying? And I want better for all of us. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like God gave me this talent for a reason. And I'm going to use it to its full potential to get my family into a better position, you know, better opportunities. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them working a 9-to-5 the rest of their life. You know what I'm saying? Stressing over bills, you know, want that house, but got to pay all this money for rent. You know what I'm saying? We as Black people, you know what I'm saying? They make it hard for us. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And people really got to tap into what God has given them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And use that to the fullest. It may take some time to get there, but it's all about your consistency, your beliefs and your grind. You know what I'm saying? And I want this so bad. I want this so bad. And it used to be for myself because I wanted to be, not more so famous. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted people to hear me. You know what I'm saying? Hear not just the song, like hear what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Really listen to my words, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I tell stories, no matter what type of genre it is, I always have a story. So now I do it more so now that I've created my own family and then just things that my family has been through. I want it so much more now for them than myself because I know where we can go and I know there's better. So it's for them.
That's really good to hear. I know, and a good point that you made, because that's the same thing for me. And I used to beat myself up about the whole situation. I used to feel like my whole family, all y'all should be posting my stuff, doing this, doing X, Y, Z. And consistency is very important. Sometimes it take a couple of years, but if you're consistent, because you have to show yourself worthy of whatever you're going for. If you're consistent, that's very, very important. And don't expect for everybody who you would expect to support you. That's one thing I realized too. But realize that quality is better than quantity. Okay. So if the right people are supporting you, it's gonna be straight, And that's one thing I had to take in with even myself with doing this, because a lot of times, even when coming into doing radio work, hosting events and stuff like that, I have gotten discouraged before. But then you have to look around you, and I ain't knocking nobody. I'm just say this, I ain't knocking nobody. But one thing you have to accept when you become a household name, because that's what we're doing right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People ain't always gonna say nice stuff about us. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I had to think, why am I tripping about what regular people saying? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What you got, and it's okay to work a 9 to 5. It's okay to do whatever you're doing. But I have way much more respect for people who are living within their destiny. And I appreciate that, because even if you're not doing what I'm doing, I love the fact that I could still learn from you because you are trying to pursue and trying to get yourself to a certain level like I am, and you just have to really push yourself. Consistency is very, very important, and because I even have to push myself with that sometimes, so that's very, very important that you pointed that out. So like I said before, y'all, man, not only is she a singer, but she's also an actress. So man, look, this right here is big for Pensacola.
Yeah.
Y'all see her up on there. Sacred Heart. So tell us about Sacred. What happened? How did all this tie in together for you?
So, my brother, shout out to my brother Jizzle, Randy Riley, got a nurse in the house. So he the one who actually brought it to my attention. He was like, he sent me the flyer. He was like, sis, you seen this? I was like, nah, what is this? He was like, so they doing this little acting thing in Pensacola. I was like, oh no, we talking about Pensacola. Y'all know that's the first thing we do. We be sketching anything going on in Pensacola.
It's true.
We were like, I don't know about that now. Yeah. So we was like, okay, you know what? We just gonna try it out. We was like, why not? You know what I'm saying? We were just gonna do it for fun, something to do. Let's just see what happened.
Right.
So we went down there, we went to the first audition, and it was just like a crazy experience. Like, people came from all across the states, like people from Ohio, people from Texas, like they was all there in Pensacola. It was just like, wow. So we went through the whole thing, and we did the first audition where I didn't even know there was like roles that you had to look at before and decide who you wanted to audition for. So me and my brother, like, we just saw it at the last minute. We just like, we just gonna go. So we went there, and it was like, so who do you want to audition for? I was like, whoever you see I fit. Yeah. I was like, who you think I fit? Because I ain't gonna choose. If you tell me I look like a role, I know I'm gonna have that role.
Yeah.
So initially, They wanted me to do Nurse Carmen, which is who I am now. That's who I actually got the role for. But when I auditioned for her, they were like, okay, yeah. But again, it came back in how I delivered the lines. They were like, They was like, I want you to do this one. So they gave me a different role initially. And that was actually for one of the main character roles. It was Dr. Naomi Brooks. He really wanted me to do that one. But he was like, I'm so stuck between it. You know what? So he ended up giving me Nurse Carmen. He was like, I really think you can bring her to life. So he was like, okay, just stick with Nurse Carmen. Then we had to do the second audition. And the second audition was where we had to do our own monologue for 60 seconds, where we just pretty much created our own dialogue. And based off of that was going to determine if we got our role or not. So did that second audition, did my dialogue. And again, never done acting ever before in my life. I'm just a naturally passionate person no matter what I do. That's why, like how you just mentioned earlier, you know, with your gifts and stuff and the, you know, your motivational speaking, I feel like I have a gift of words. It's just delivered in many different forms. Right. So how I delivered my monologue, when I say the whole room was quiet, I was like, damn, did I do good or did I do bad? Look, nobody was saying nothing. It was like a brief 10 seconds. I'm like, started doing that little nervous laugh. And then they was like, oh my God. They was like, yeah, your audition was wow, amazing. And to me, like I said, it wasn't acting for me because the monologue that I created for myself, I took a piece from my life. And I delivered it as if it were a movie because hell, sometimes it's what it feels like. Right. And they were just like, wow. And from there, it just took off. They gave us the callbacks and it was like, yeah, Jasmine, you got Nurse Carmen. And I just brought her to life from there.
Oh man, that's really exciting to hear, for real, for real. So this weekend, y'all have the premiere.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Oh my God, I am so excited. So November the 5th, this Saturday, we are going to be having the very first movie premiere for Sacred. They dropped the heart, so it's called Sacred. It's going to be premiering at the Amos Studios. So if you have not got your ticket, you can still purchase your ticket, but online, you can go to the Eventbrite link. You can either go to the Sacred Heart, look at me fucking up, y'all.
No, that's all right. That's all right. We get you.
Sacred. We so used to saying Sacred Heart.
Me too, because I was looking at Sacred Heart earlier. Yeah.
So you can go to either the Sacred Instagram page or the Sacred Facebook page, and the information will be on there for the Eventbrite. If you still want to purchase the tickets to be the first to see it, that's the one where you get fancy. You know what I'm saying? Bring out your little tux and suit tie, your little fancy ball gown dresses, things like that. They're going to have the red carpet, going to have photographers there. Yeah. And they let you get to, like if people want to get, you know, the sign art, make us feel real important or whatnot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're going to have a whole shebang for the, you know, the very first viewing. And then November the 6th, we're going to have the second viewing at the Wahoo Stadium. So, of course, that's going to be for those who can't make the first one. And, of course, we wanted to make it affordable for everybody. So for those who can't, you know, pay the $30 to see the first one, we want, you know, it's a city thing. It's a culture thing. We're trying to bring everybody together. So we, of course, want to make it affordable for those who may not be able to pay $30 to still be able to come and see a film that was put together by the people in their city. Right. So that one's only $10. You can either go directly to the box office at the Wahoo Stadium and purchase it, or you can go to their website as well and purchase it there. So definitely come out and see it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different feeling of having your city to come out and support you and seeing something that you worked so hard to put together with other people in your city. You know, it's amazing. I'm ready to see everybody and just see the support that we've been getting online, just in person, and ready to see how everybody takes it into our hard work.
Yeah. How was it working with so many different personalities?
It actually wasn't as crazy as I would have thought. The people that Enrico chose, shout out to him.
Yeah,
He
shout out
is
to Enrico.
a real dope,
Manager of the
producer,
year.
director, definitely manager of the year. He handpicked some really awesome people. Everybody kind of vibed collectively. Everybody came together as a family. So it just felt just like that. So on set, it wasn't really nobody acting out, nobody having no attitudes with each other, you know what I'm saying? People talking down about one another. It was like genuinely, everybody that was to support each other. Hey, you getting sleepy? You need some eye drops? Hey, you getting a little hungry? We got some chips in the back. You know what I'm saying? It was, it was support because everybody knew what the goal was and that we are coming together to make something happen that has never been done with so many people from Pensacola, based in Pensacola. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was so determined to make this such a great and awesome project that we didn't have time for negativity. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was so positive and so uplifting with their energy. It was just like, it was supposed to be what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, man, that's really exciting to hear. Like I said, man, El Rico, he is a part of the RWR Live 365 family. So shout out to him, man. So now with acting, was that something that you always wanted to do?
Not really. Not at first. It wasn't like my it wasn't, I would say it wasn't on my list to be like, this is what I want to do in life. Music was always my number one, my passion. That's my thing. That's my gift.
Mm-hmm.
It was music. And then when I got presented with this opportunity, it's like, wow, I got a chance to deliver words in a different method. So I'm like, all right, I think I might gotta add this on to the roster. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was now a thing where it's become, an interest for me. So I'm like, okay, I think I can really take this, further.
Yes.
So I feel like, again, whatever God is bringing, to me, whatever opportunities he is bringing, I'm going to use that to the best of my ability. I'm going to take full effect of it and, use the talents that he's given me to make it do what it do.
Right.
So, but yeah, that wasn't never really on my list to be an actress. It just presented itself, and it was something that aligned with me being able to use my words and people having an effect on that. So I was like, let's do it.
So I know I asked this when it came to the music. When it comes to acting, does that trigger anxiety for you sometimes as well? Or is that kind of flows more naturally than you thought it would?
It actually flowed more naturally than I thought it would. I thought naturally that I was gonna be like really, really nervous. Now, of course, yeah, you're still nervous because you're out of your element. You're doing stuff that other people are asking you to. You're not naturally doing it or thinking it yourself. You're bringing to life somebody else's vision. So you want to execute it, the way that they envisioned it. So it makes you nervous. Like, oh, am I going to say this right? Am I going to sound right? Do I look right? So you're going to always have that.
Yeah.
But when I actually delivered it, like I said, I made it personal. I made it as if it was my life.
Right.
So I had to really bring Nurse Carmen to life in order for me to really execute it the way that El Rico envisioned it. So it just came natural. It felt natural. Now, when we see this on Saturday, it better look like
how I feel.
How I felt, exactly. Because when you film, and that's the one problem that I always had. I need to see, did I look right? But when you can't see it, it's like, damn, like I need to make sure I was looking right. Do I sound right? But they always said, if a director don't tell you something, then it wasn't nothing wrong with it. Right. So I had to keep that in my mind. But it's like you be wanting to see the playback. Like, right. Okay, I could have did this better. Like with music, you get us, you be like, okay, hey, I don't like how that sounded. Let me do that again. Acting, you don't get that a lot of the times. Now, of course, if they be like, okay, like you straight up fuck that up. We need you to run that back. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll get that opportunity. But I didn't have that. So it was just like, hey, you did good. So it's just my own personal, mind thing. I'm just like psyching my own self out. So
I get it.
I still have a feeling it's gonna be a really dope project that I think everybody's gonna enjoy.
Okay. So let me ask you this. I want to ask you a question. It's kind of, it ain't too personal.
Go
it's
ahead.
Personal. So I know that a few years back that you lost your brother and your father.
Yes.
In a very violent car accident from a drunk driver.
Yes.
So now, as far as your career, especially with music, does that motivate you? For one, let me ask you this. How did you, because man, that's a big thing. Not only to lose your daddy, but you lose your father and you lose your brother. And your brother wasn't a child, your brother was an adult.
Right.
You lose your father and you lose your brother in a car accident from a drunk driver. And it was on a holiday, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. Because what was crazy, I was getting out for work and I didn't know at the time what was going on. Me and my coworker, who was just in the comments, were riding on the scene. And it was so quiet. It was so many people there, but it was so quiet. And I told Denise, I said, Denise, some good ain't happened right here. So we need to leave. And she said, you don't want to get out? I don't want to get out. And then later I found out that you had ties to them. So how did you get it? Like how did you, and then you would never get over that.
Yeah.
How are you coping with that now?
It's hard to say because when you lose somebody, some people can, but a lot of people really never recover.
Yeah.
Especially losing somebody like that when you didn't have time to prepare for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I think, the difference is when people die, a lot of people say, oh, it's the same. It's not. When you are expecting it, people can prepare for somebody to pass away. They can mentally get themselves ready. But when somebody's just snatched away from you, nobody can ever prepare for that.
Right.
So you're going to always, mind is going to always be there. There are a lot of times where I'll be perfectly okay. And then I'll just think of something or see something that reminds me of them. And then I'm super emotional. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think one can really, truly get through something like that. Me personally, family is everything to me. And, my daddy, Randy Riley, my baby bro, Nelson Riley, they were everything to me. My entire family is. So we are so, so close. So to lose them in the way that we lost them, it's something that I would never get over. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, oh, you can eventually, get to that. You can't, everybody's different. You can't say, oh, you'll be able to get through this and it'll get easier over time. Yeah, for you, that may be true.
Right.
But not everybody is the same. Everybody grieves differently. I don't think I will honestly ever be able to truly get through that. It'll get better some days, but those feelings will still be there no matter what, because you're going to always have something that's going to remind you, of the incident or of the people, that you lost. And I use them. That's what pushed me so hard now, of doing what I'm doing, not taking no day for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. And no lie, like I used to do music back in the day and I wasn't taking myself serious. You know what I'm saying? I'll stop every now and then because I'll just get discouraged within myself. And then when we lost them, and music was a big thing for my baby brother. That's all he wanted. Because my whole family, we all tied into the music. And that was his dream. He wanted to be an artist. He had such a unique voice. And that was all that he wanted to do. And the fact that it was taken from him at the age of only 22 is like, I got to do this for him. And I got to do this for my daddy. I got to do this for us. Right. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to be in a better situation for our family so bad. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, I hate that it happened that way, but it almost felt like, God, I know you wouldn't do this to me for no absolute reason. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like he was saying, it's your time. It's now you got to start getting yourself in order. You got to do what you got to do because I've given you the tools to do it. Now it's time to really, you know what I'm saying? So they've definitely been my motivation to really go harder than ever to get my family in a better position just in general.
Right. Man, I get that 100%. I think I know when my great grandmother passed a couple months ago, I used to think about it because she was older. And I would think about it sometimes and I would get emotional thinking about it. And I just knew like when it happened, we gonna cut up. But praise God for the spiritual system that I now follow. It makes me look at death differently. And it makes you realize that first and foremost, we belong to God first.
Absolutely.
So if he want to snatch us up, it's just gonna snatch us up. And sometimes we might not agree with it, but every death teaches a lesson. And that's one thing I had to learn in the situation. Because I used to look at people, sometimes they lose their grandparents, and I say, oh, they old. So, but the thing is, for that family, they don't care about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So fortunately, it was a little different for me to experience that death recently because she was a little older and she was ready to go. But like I said, for you, I've experienced because my cousin Acacia, we went to school with, passed away young. But even still, it wasn't what you went through. You know what I'm saying? So I do try to empathize with you, and I can't even imagine because people will go crazy. Behind stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So to see you where you at right now, to not only lose your brother, but you lost your father, and they left together, and it was because a woman was drunk driving on a holiday. You know what I'm saying? And on the holidays, you know how black folks is. We ready to chill together. You know what I'm saying? And for that to go down the way that it did, and to see you where you are right now, like that's really cool to see that. And so I'm really happy for you that you are coping with that in a positive way.
Yes,
I'm really happy about that.
It's definitely a blessing, which has also opened some doors to motivational speaking as well. So, like I said, another avenue with words. So, I was recently presented with the opportunity to actually, this will be the second opportunity. The first opportunity I did get to share their story at a police academy dinner. And these were with officers who are traffic violators. These are people who pull over people who are drunk driving, intoxicated, under the influence, and, I just got to be able to tell them, how much we appreciate, you all just doing what you do because of what I experienced. You guys are helping families to not go through what I went through. You know what I'm saying? And now I've been offered the opportunity to be able to share my same story at a school for kids. So when I tell you, that made me so happy because that was the one promise that I made after their passing, because people don't realize how important family is when you're so busy with your own life. And that was me, like in their later years before they passed away. I was always working, because I had my own family. So it wasn't all the time where I could make all the family functions, but they were still my heart. You know what I'm saying? And then losing them is like, okay, I vowed that no matter what, I'm going to make family my first priority, because you can always get another job. You can always get another, you know what I'm saying? But you only get one family. You can't get another one of them. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm going to make sure that nobody ever forgets y'all name. So whenever God presents me the opportunity to tell y'all story, I'm going to tell it to the world.
As you should.
Because everybody deserves to hear this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should know, the signs, be able to make better choices, you know what I'm saying? And to hear the pains of others, of what they went through due to somebody else's decision, to help possibly prevent this from happening to somebody else's family, or to help somebody else's family get through it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm still going through it, but I still tell my story freely. And, you know what I'm saying, let y'all see my authentic, raw self. Sometimes I cry when I'm talking, and because I'm genuinely speaking from the heart. That's all I do. And people get encouraged off of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do it for nobody but my purpose. And that's to deliver a message that I feel in my heart for the people to hear.
Yeah.
And sharing their story, if that does that, I'm gonna tell it to whoever allows me to share it.
Right. So what is the biggest thing that you think you learned when that happened?
The biggest thing that I've learned, two things is one, never take life for granted. Never think you got time, because that was my one thing. Because I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick up this overtime. We gonna chill on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? And it kept happening. And it kept happening. I was like, I kept saying, I got time. I got time. And I got humbled real quick. Because when they got snatched up out of here, I ain't had that opportunity no more. That was probably my number one thing, is thinking you got time when you don't.
You don't.
So never take a day for granted. If you want to tell somebody you love them, tell them you love them.
You should.
You want to sit there, you want to go visit that person, go see them. What you waiting for?
Yeah.
Because time ain't promised to nobody.
It's not. When my cousin Nakasia, we went to passed away, it was crazy because her mom passed away in 2010. We had just graduated 2009. And I tell people all the time now, if somebody is on your mind, it could be somebody you don't even like. If somebody's on your mind constantly, you should reach out to them. My cousin, well, she was my her mom was my godmother, but she was my cousin. And for some reason I got off on a Thursday, and I kept saying, I wanna go see Tanisha. I want to go see Tanisha. And my mom was like, well, I'll wait. We'll wait. I just got off for work. And I'm like, I want to go see Tanisha. We need to go see Tanisha. She kept saying, we'll wait. I'm tired. I said, all right. Monday come around. My grandma give me a call. You know your cousin, the one you went to school with, that dressed like a boy? You know, old people. I'm like, yeah, grandma. Her mama died. I hung up in my grandma's face. Her mom was on 37 years old. Now, when we were younger, because we was fresh out of high school, we thought that it was old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, ain't no way. So I pull up at her grandmama's house and I see the cars outside. I'm like, that's what it is. And to go through the same thing with Kiki 6 years later, go out the same way her mom passed away. And it was crazy because the night before I talked to her and I was supposed to go see her. And like you said, we put it off because we get so wrapped up in ourselves. And that's when, as Black people, we have lost the dynamic of family.
Absolutely.
And I talked to my cousin. I was like, hey, I was going to come see you. She's like, yeah, I'm good, cousin. I love you or whatever. I said, I love you too. I said, I'm going to come see you tomorrow. She said, okay. She sounded way better than she had been doing. She sounded good. And I said, I'm going to come see you tomorrow. She said, okay, I'll be waiting on you. I said, I love you. She said, I love you too. 2:00 something that morning, I'm getting calls from her phone, text me from her phone, but I'm knocked out. And I wake up, her girlfriend at the time hit me up and was like, hey, Kiki stopped breathing for like 45 minutes and y'all need to get up here. So I'm like, what the hell? So I get up there and I could tell from the way she looked that it was a bad situation. And even then, man, it took you to see that, because we was 2016, 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? To see that at 25 years old, because when we kids, we don't think about nobody dying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, for me, that made me even look at death is when we got out of school and I was in the military, is when Shakavia died. That was our first classmate that passed away.
Yeah.
And it was the whole class was blow, because it was like, damn, this happens to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was 18, 19 years old.
Yes,
So
young.
When that happened, then to go to see, and right before then, Tiffany passed away. Tiffany Koga. And then I think Paint had passed away.
Yeah.
And so we found out my cousin had lupus, and she called me and she was like, I'm kind of scared, and I was like, why? She was like, because everybody passing away and then I got this shit now, and then I don't know what's gonna happen. And I was like, man, we gonna pray you ain't gonna pass away. And I remember my grandma asking me, it was crazy because my grandma, she talked to me, but she didn't talk to me like how she talked to me that night. And she said, if she passed away, how you gonna feel? And I said, Grandma, I don't know, because I never thought about it. Man, I remember me and my cousin on Friday, when we was younger, we stayed in the project. We stayed in Marina Court before then, though, in the early 90s, when we was little bitty kids, we stayed in Truman Arms, TA. So in the late 2000s, we stayed in Marino Court, and we would always go to each other's house. And me and my cousin her mama used to cook tacos on Fridays. And we would be sitting in the kitchen. We would say, we having a PTA meeting. Didn't know what the fuck PTA meant. But we'd be in there talking about our students. They have no fucking students. You know what I'm saying? And when seeing a person like that, it's just like you just think, I wish I would have had time. I wish I could have said this. I wish I would. And I had told my cousin while she was laying on the bed, I said, if you ready to go, go. Because sometimes we be so selfish, especially when people are in situations like that, when they're sick, that we hold on to them. And we have to let people go on to something better, because if you believe in God, you believe in better.
Absolutely.
And one thing about energy never dies.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I also believe that a person isn't dead until we start speaking their name. So I will always talk about it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I know for me, I can empathize to a certain extent, because for me, it happened in one day. I didn't expect for that to happen. But for you, y'all didn't expect to get that call. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool, like I said, too, that adds on to it being so cool to see where you are right now, when a lot of people could have been broke behind that, you know?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you telling that story. You know what I'm saying? So if you would have cried, I would have been okay with it.
I'm a G today.
Yeah.
If I had a little bit more liquor,
No, I get you, man. Because I mean, like, even, my great grandma was 94 years old, ready to clock the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? She talked about it. But even for her to leave, it still make me feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my grandma. And your grandparents are like your second parent. Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, for some people, I know for me, it was like that. Some people don't get to experience good grandparents, but I did. I had 4 amazing grandparents, so I thank God for that every day. And I'm more thankful that she is getting the rest that she needed, and she's getting, because I don't think she sleep here. I think that she is living way better than she was living here. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So, and I thank God for that.
Absolutely.
So what's next for you with the music?
Hey, you gotta tune in.
Yes.
I am one to just keep your eyes on. I definitely got some more music in the works. Got a EP that I'm working on. So definitely trying to push more and more, for the music. Everything else that comes along with it, of course, it'll come along with it. If I do, any more, movies or films or anything of that nature, I will. But music is my baby. That's my thing that I'm gonna push the hardest for. So definitely got some projects that I'm working on. So y'all just stay tuned for Jasmine the Great.
Yes. And that's another thing too I want to point out right now is speaking over yourself. Absolutely. Like, we do a lot of ifs and stuff like that. We're gonna say when we do another movie. Absolutely. When we do another album, you know what I'm saying?
There we go.
So that's what we gotta speak that over ourselves, man. Because if we don't motivate ourselves, I was talking to somebody today about beauty. Man, it took, and I say this a lot of times on my show, it took me to become 30 years old to look in the mirror and tell myself I love myself. A lot of people don't understand how deep that is. Let me tell you something. Y'all should look into that. Look into that whole mirror magic of looking into yourself and saying everything you don't like about yourself or everything that you do like about yourself. Because then we'll society, the community will look at us and be like, oh, you this, you that, and positive. You be like, I don't see it in myself. Right. We got to start seeing it in ourselves. And then another thing too, when somebody do something for you, you be like, you ain't have to do that. Yes, they did. If somebody find you worthy enough to do something nice for you, appreciate it. And absolutely. We only see that in our community.
Myself included, who live for other people.
Yes.
Because you're so busy trying to, be that savior for your family, be that savior for yourself, be that savior for your kids, and trying to make sure everybody else is good, that you forget who you are.
Yes.
And I lost myself, no lie. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Which I love my people dearly, but I lost myself along the way because I gave so much of myself to everybody else that I forgot to give back to me.
To you. Yeah.
And I'm just like, who am I?
Yeah.
Who is Jasmine Gray? Who is she? What does she like? You know what I'm saying? I see this image, but I don't truly know who she is. So now I'm taking that time to refine me.
I see.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Refine me, rebirth myself. That's why I started taking myself more serious, because I'm finding me, whether you like it or you don't.
Yeah.
It's about me now, what I feel, what I think, what I believe.
Yeah.
And
we neglect
it's
ourselves.
a journey.
Yeah, we neglect ourselves for other people's happiness.
Absolutely.
And even when it comes to the image of beauty, we look at social media. We could, because when we was young, we had social media in high school, which was MySpace, stuff like that. We didn't really have social. We went outside and played. These kids now ain't got to go outside and play. You know what I'm saying? They all on phones, iPads, tablets. They doing everything else, but we didn't have that privilege growing up.
Right.
You know, so we have to redefine the image. Because even when you look at pictures of women in the 90s, women in the 80s, they didn't wear makeup. They had fucking fan ponytails and big ass earrings. And people think that you was it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we have to redefine ourselves to not have to paint ourselves for or as European beauty, or as like, well, this is the thing to be now. I got to get this done to my body, or I got to get this done to myself to make me feel beautiful. Like, just embrace who you are. One thing I have realized is that God don't make mistakes. You know, and you might not be beautiful to a certain selection of people, but you're beautiful to somebody.
Absolutely.
And I remember when I was in the Kappa League, shout out to the Pensacola Kappa League. I was a part of the first Pensacola Kappa League. I ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, that made me feel old shit.
Look, take a sip on that.
Hey, look, but I ain't gonna shout out because like, look, let me tell you, we used to be feeling some type of way because Mobile Kappa League always was on some, like they did their thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, we gotta be like Mobile. And the people that was in the Kappa League, they were people that was in the streets when we were young, but we got to meet some very influential Kappas that are still today teachers and all kind of stuff in the community. Shout out to Mr. Todd. Shout out to Mr. Kelsey Powell. Everybody know Mr. Powell. I really appreciate that. But I know for us as Black people, we have to redefine beauty for ourselves. And man, look at it within yourself, man.
Absolutely.
Like start appreciating the compliments, you know what I'm saying, that we see that other people give us and stuff like that. And start complimenting yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself what you love and what you like about yourself.
Absolutely. And going back to another thing that you mentioned earlier, the mental health thing. Sometimes people do need that push to really help them to dig into themselves. You know, some people are so, whatever situation that they went through in life, they are so in the dark that they need somebody to help them towards that light, to be like, okay, I can do this. Now I feel like I can stand on my own. Yes. Now let me refine me. Some people do need that help too. So definitely, if you have that friend or that family member where you feel like, they need a little help to, bring them back to the light, then do that. Not saying you have to hold their hand the entire way. Just do it just a little bit till you feel like they can now stand on their own, and then they can do what they got to do to, refine themselves. Then do that, because it's some people out here that need that help.
Right.
So definitely find it within yourself. And when you have the strength to find it in yourself, and you now can help somebody else, do that.
Yeah. And pay attention to what she said. When you have it within yourself, like if you still trying to get yourself together, get yourself together.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But when you are strong enough to help somebody else, make sure you help somebody else. I try to always filter what I say about certain things, because as being an Aboriginal Negro, we sometimes tend to judge before we know the situation. So you have to always understand that sometimes when people react or do certain things a certain type of way, and we say, well, you should know this because of this, you should know this because you're grown. Being grown ain't got nothing to do with trauma.
Right.
And when you have experienced a certain trauma, for a lot of people have a mindset of 13, 12-year-olds because that's when they experience a certain trauma in their life and they stop mentally growing at that age. You know what I'm saying? And they be 40-something years old and still moving like a teenager because you never know what they went, but nobody never asked them either.
Right.
Make sure y'all, it's a documentary on Amazon about it's called Children of Katrina. And I watched it the other night. It was about children who was in Hurricane Katrina from New Orleans, and they now live. A lot of them live in Texas, and other places, Florida, and it gave their experiences on what they experienced in Katrina, and it was very emotional for majority of the children because, well, they're now adults, was because nobody never asked them. They had, man, and even us, because we got a lot of Katrina children. We was in school, and we was in middle school at that time. And so even us, y'all just lost everything y'all fucking know. And 2 weeks later, we got to go back to school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how to cope right now because everything I know, I just lost, you know? So, and we never took that into consideration. So you have to definitely take other people's circumstances into consideration, even our parents, you know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all do that, man. One thing I want to bring up too before we leave, you got an event coming up.
Yes.
Make sure they check that out. So you're going to be at the fashion show. Are you performing or are you going to be in the fashion show?
So I am definitely going to be performing. So make sure y'all stay around for that. And you never know, you might see a girl do a little 1-2 step down the runway. I ain't going to tell you. Y'all just going to have to come.
Yeah.
Y'all just got to come. And it's very exciting for me because this is my first performance as, you know, an artist. You know, having somebody say, hey, I want you to perform at my event. So that was very exciting and honoring to me. You know, like, damn, somebody want me. I want your girl. I was so excited because I'm like, finally, thank you, Lord. But I see it as a stepping stone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So definitely shout out to Jennifer for bringing me in on her event. So definitely y'all make sure y'all get y'all tickets.
Is you can
Jennifer Boykin.
Okay.
Definitely make sure y'all hit her up. Her number is on the flyer. I also have physical tickets as well. General admission is $15. That's just to get into the fashion show. See all the dope, you know, pieces. It'll also be some vendors there y'all can check out. And then there's $30 tickets, which are VIP tickets. I still have some of those as well. With those, you get to eat. You know, Black people like to eat. Anybody like to eat, really?
Cooking?
Right. You say, so yeah, your $30 ticket. You do get to eat. With that purchase. You'll also get free champagne for the first hour. And then after that, I think they're going to be selling drinks. But you definitely get entered into a raffle as well that she was saying. But she wants to give more details on that the day of. So you'll also be entered into this dope raffle that she's giving away also. But yeah, y'all come see your girl at her first performance. I'm ready to really, you know, give y'all a show and come see the other models. There'll also be some other performances as well. Y'all can see that on the flyer. Miss Princey, she's also going to be performing as well. So another artist. So definitely y'all come out and support us.
Yes, man.
November the 19th.
Yes, November 19th. That's here in Pensacola, Florida. For y'all that's listening right now, instead of watching, it's going to be at the Grotto Hall, which is 1800 South N Street.
Yeah, K Street.
I can't see that far. Pensacola, Florida, on November 9th, and doors open at 8 p.m. Man, make sure y'all come check out the fashion show. And once again, that I'm so excited for you. And what you bring tonight is the first for the G Spot podcast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really happy to see you in the space that you're in right now. It's really exciting to see.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing to be given these opportunities, but to do it with somebody that, you know, you have chemistry with, that you've been to school with, you know what I'm saying? And seeing all that you have become and everything that you're doing as well. congratulations to you and all
Thank
of
you.
your future endeavors. It's
Thank
a
you.
blessing seeing our people, what I'm saying, doing something that we love, bringing back, giving back to the community. So
Yes.
shout out to you also. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We definitely gonna have you on the show again. Definitely gonna have you on the show again. I mean, if anybody listen, make sure y'all if y'all do follow the Real Women Radio page. We have our grand opening for our Black Community Cafe and Bookstore.
Wow.
That's really right behind us right now. On it's gonna be on November 10th at they changed it from the 12th to the 10th at 11 to 12 to 2 p.m. on 3497 North Martin Luther King Boulevard. Look at that, Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Right.
I was
trying to say, they knew what
they
they was doing.
They knew what they were doing. Hey, and then too, make sure y'all check out my sister. Now look, this date is not correct, but I will say that it's this Sunday when All Queens link from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Pensacola Improv. We have my homegirl. She's a priestess. But she's having a market with all Black vendors. Now, one thing about my show, and I tell people all the time, for a long time, we had to share our culture. It is time for us to start, and that's why I designed this podcast. It's time for us to start doing stuff, FUBU, for us, by us, goddamn.
Absolutely.
It's time for us to start
That's
doing
right.
stuff for us and start putting money into our own communities. And so make sure y'all come shop and make sure y'all go to the fashion show. I will be at the fashion show. Make sure y'all come out and come to the fashion show. And I'll definitely, if y'all haven't already seen the flyer on the G Spot podcast page, y'all will see the flyer again. And if y'all follow my personal page, y'all will see it there too. And make sure y'all support Jazz. And tell them again where they can follow you at.
Thank you. You guys can follow me at Jasmine the Great. That is JV. And yes, that is spelled with a V. Don't put no L in there. JVSMINE, the Great. Jasmine the Great. You can find me on all social media platforms under that @name.
I say. Any other words you want to put out there?
No, just continue to love yourself, love one another, support each other, and be safe out there. Remember, there is no time like the present. So live your life.
I say, make sure you check out the G Spot podcast each and every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. If you can't watch us, y'all can also download the RWR Live 365. Y'all should download that anyways. If y'all want to listen, especially when y'all R&B fans, y'all want to listen to some good R&B music and y'all some other good shows. And too, on Saturdays, we even got a little blues for y'all. Each and every, make sure y'all download the RWR Live 365 app. Shout out to Nicole Dixon, the queen of Real Women Radio, RWR Live. And we appreciate y'all for checking in with us, man. Y'all have a blessed and safe night. No drinking and fucking driving. And I love y'all. Be safe.